Hello everybody, we're here today to talk about football. Jonathan is our resident expert on football, so I'm going to be learning some things about football from Jonathan. Jonathan, can you explain the pots to me, please?
Yeah, well, actually, FIFA has confirmed the draw for the 2018 World Cup, which is said to take place in the Kremlin on Friday, December the 1st.
Oh, excellent.
So it's going to be really interesting because I would say that after the best World Cup ever, in my opinion, which was the 2006 World Cup in Germany, this one is going to be a lot interesting because it has new teams, and some teams came back after several years. So I think there's going to be a lot to see in this World Cup.
Who are the new teams?
Okay, well, there are some new teams, especially Panama, who has
First time for Panama.
They have a Colombian coach, Hernán Darío Gómez.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think
Keep him away from the women.
And they have Iceland too, a very strong team. Very first time for them in the World Cup.
That's quite amazing because Iceland, I think, only has a population of 600,000 people. That makes it the size of a small town like Santa Marta in Colombia.
Also, that means that they're working on football right now.
Okay, good, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so these are like the new teams in this World Cup. We have also some teams that came back after several years. We have the example of Peru, for example.
Yeah. When was the last time Peru was in the World Cup?
I think it's been more than 20 something years. I'm not pretty sure about the time. We have some African teams like Egypt, Morocco as well. European countries, Poland.
Holland are missing. First time for how many years? Poland. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Yeah, I've seen Poland play. I saw them in a couple of qualifying rounds. It's a really nice team. They play very well together. I think Poland's a strong team.
Yeah, they've grown strong for the last 2 years. We also have Denmark, Serbia, Sweden.
Yes.
And those are like the ones that came after several years.
Yeah. We also got strong teams missing. Holland's not in. What do you think about Holland not being in the World Cup?
Well, they had like problems recently with the coaches, players. They've been through really hard times in their football. So maybe it's a really strong team we're gonna miss in this World Cup.
Another one's Italy.
Italy is the other one.
How often has Italy not been in the World Cup?
Well, I think this is the third time they are not going to play. The first two were in 1930, the first World
So
Cup,
they weren't in the first World Cup. Okay.
and in 1958. Yeah. So this time it's a shame for the goalkeeper, who's a star and
Yes.
an idol
Yes.
for Italy.
But this is going to be the last time he's going to play. Buffon is what, 34, 35?
He's quite old for the next World Cup.
Yeah,
so
no,
I
I don't think he will be.
Okay, so let's talk about the pots.
Yes, please. I want to know how the pots are drawn. So we've got 4 pots. We've got pot 1, pot 2, pot 3, pot 4. How do the teams get into pot 1?
Well, the pots were distributed according to the highest ranked teams. So the first pot is like the first 7 best teams, and with the host, which in this case is Russia. So these are the 8. In the first pot we're going to see. We have Russia, Germany, Brazil, France, Argentina, Belgium. These are really, really strong teams. What do you think about Germany and Brazil, who are like the favorite ones?
I like both teams. I like both teams very much. I think that Germany's probably going to win it again because they've got a very, very strong team. but there are lots of other teams I like as well. Poland I like. England's playing quite well at the moment. In the last couple of weeks, England have drawn with Brazil and drawn with Germany, and they didn't have a full side on the pitch. There were several top players missing, so I think England's got a very good chance as well.
Yeah, Harry Kane, I think, is the best striker they have right now, and they have a nice opportunity with him in the forward. In the pot number 2, we have Spain, England. We mentioned it before. Colombia, Uruguay. What do you think about Colombia?
I don't think that Colombia as a team are playing very well together at the moment. If they get their act together, I think they can do well. I was in Barranquilla when they drew with Brazil, and it was really a good game. I enjoyed the game, and they played as a team. But I'm worried about the goalkeeper. It's very difficult to say with a couple of bad games that the goalkeeper's got problems, but he's not playing for Arsenal, so he's not getting the practice in. And in the last couple of games that I saw, the goals were mistakes by the goalkeeper. And quite honestly, that seriously worries me about Colombia. I've always liked their defence and thought they had a good defence, but the goalkeeper needs to have more practice. If he doesn't have practice, I mean, you know, Ospina hasn't been playing. I mean, he literally hasn't been playing. So he's got no practice, and I think that that's a serious problem for Colombia.
What about? Okay, yeah, I agree with you. What about in the third pot we have Iceland, which is the new team, and Sweden. Strongest teams, I'd say. Sweden has a couple of really good players, and they're not with their best historical striker, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And for the last pot, we have Nigeria, which I consider is the strongest team for this pot.
That's in pot 4.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Weaker teams. Who do you think are the weaker teams? For example, I only saw one qualifying match with Iran, and Iran, their tactics are having 10 people in defence and one person up front, and he can run. He's fast.
It worked for them.
Yeah, and they pass the ball to him, and then he goes running for goal. That's how they got through.
That's their technique.
Yeah,
it works.
It's a different technique, but I don't.
10 people in defence is it's something different.
Yeah, I don't know the striker's name. I actually don't know his name. I don't remember it, but he's fast. He's very fast.
Okay, that's.
So anyway, how are these draws going to happen? What happens, for example, they take somebody from pot 1, and then, for example, Brazil, and then they take Colombia. Do those two teams play together?
Well, actually, according to the way they draw it, it's that it's not possible that same teams from the same football association can play together in the same group. So they divided all the associations. So European association will have to match some other associations teams like African association or South American. So it's not possible that they meet in the first round.
Okay, but what about Europe? Because Europe's got about 8-9 teams. So
it's like they have.
So they have to
12.
play against each other.
It's possible. Two European teams.
Oh, so it's only 2. Okay, now I understand.
2 teams in the first round, the group round.
Oh, okay. Anyway, Jonathan, thank you for helping me out on that. I've learnt a lot today. Thank you.
Well,
Goodbye.
It was a pleasure to have.
Right, thank you for watching us. Bye.